Hey guys, Underground Geek here, and let's talk about a comic here. This was Aquaman number 28, and I have to tell you that I'm liking this Sejic guy more and more on art. I love every Aquaman that he has done so far. I mean, just look at the quality of artwork. Look at the expression in the faces, the wrinkles above the nose. Look at the expression on his face, the detail in the brow. Okay, and then look at some of the other stuff that they're putting out in Marvel right now. Okay, look at Secret Empire, the inside of the art on those books compared to that. Okay, I know that you can't compare every artist because every artist is not as good as another artist or not as bad as another artist, but just look at this. Look at the detail in the guy riding and his sword. I mean, come on. And then we cut to this page right here. Look at this bad guy. He's one of my favorite villains right now just because of all the colors and the way his uniform is. Then you've got Aquaman there. Look at his expression. I mean, come on. So anyway, in this story, it's what is that? Ninth Eride of Atlantis? The ninth tribe of Atlantis? Come on, guys. But anyway, so basically they're trying to escape from this underlord, this kingpin of sorts, and this is his henchman trying to stop him. He's on the Aquaman's on the run right now with his friend Dolphin. She's kind of like a mutant. And he is actually believed to be dead, and he has been usurped in his kingdom. So right now he's like a vigilante. Look at this page right here. Is that not cool? So yeah, there's your story, Usurper. The story is by Dan Abnett, and Stjepan Sejic is the art, color, and cover. Art, color, and cover. This is the second time that I've seen a comic book that the art, color, and cover is done by the same person, and it way outdoes anything that Marvel is putting out right now. Well, yesterday it was Green Arrow was the same art, color, and cover, and then you got this, and it's amazing now as well. There seems to be a correlation. So anyway, they're fighting. Look at this close-up here as he's getting bombarded by fish. He's still ready for an attack. So he attacks with his coral. He uses magic coral to form different barriers and things, weapons. And then we have Aquaman punching this dude here. But here's the deal. The only thing that I would have done different was I would have had him in the picture here, maybe swinging away as he has just punched him, or maybe punching him into the coral, you know, or into the rock. That's something I would have changed, but you know, I guess that's something small. Then we get these awesome scenes here where he's smashing him in the wall with coral. He snaps it. Then he comes around though and smashes him in the back. And the whole time he's talking about how this guy is he's going easy on him. He's trying to stop him. He's trying to hobble him so that he can bring him back alive. And so right here where it gets a little scary, because he said that's a coral copy of a hook sword. And he said the old tyrants of Atlantis used to use them to ceremoniously cut the hamstrings and Achilles tendons of their enemies, rendering them crippled and helpless. I was like, oh my God, dude. So he's about to get him right in the ankle there. And I actually skipped ahead to the story because it left me so on edge I had to know what happened next. I mean, that's what a comic book should be. So then we have a cutscene here where these guys are in Elder Scrolls 4 Morrowind, and they're down in this dungeon, or this beneath the royal treasury of Atlantis, so to speak, the catacombs. And basically she has hired this old elder, which is now just like a vagabond, to help find something. So they've got to get through here, but there's a security system set up, and the security system is actually like these spirits of the elders there that can actually physically harm you, kind of like Lord of the Rings. But there's one there, and he says, "Good day to you, Elder Balthus." And the guy just walks off, and they're like, why did that happen? He said, well, if you know their name and you tell them that you know their name, they will leave you alone. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he says it's because most thieves are ignorant and they don't know these people's names, so they get caught and killed. So this happens again and again. And she says, well, what happens if you don't know their name? He says, well, that gun's not going to matter then, and we're going to be dead. And I was like, oh, crap. So then we cut to, well, you've actually got three things going on at the same time here, but they tied them together so well that I don't forget anything. You've got Garth and Mira here. Mira has gotten Garth to help break this big seal, this crown of thorns over Atlantis. And so he's using his magic. Look how epic that is. Isn't that cool? So then we go back to Aquaman here, and this guy's about to do the deed. He's about to cut his hamstrings and his Achilles tendon, and he can't get out. So then Dolphin actually comes back and helps and uses the solar flare to blind him. And so then Aquaman can now get free, smacks him, knocks him out, and he's talking to her and she ain't having it. She's like, come on, I saved your butt. So then there's Crush. There's the main overlord there of the underground, and they're all a bunch of mutants. And he's talking about how Cadaver has fallen. That's the coral guy. And he says, well, then I'm going to go straight to the king, the new king, and I'm going to tell him myself that Aquaman is still alive. So then we cut back to the catacombs, and she says, Boko, have you noticed something? The last few sentinels have been very decayed. He said, well, they're older, you know, that happens to a corpse. She goes, well, when they're just skeletal, when they don't have faces, how will you know them then? And he says, I see what you mean. And this guy's whole upper face is gone. And it's like, oh crap, how do you know who that is? So then they're running. They can't do anything now. They have to run from this guy. So I thought it was pretty good. Look at the expressions on their faces. How come they can draw women in distress and they don't look like they're fixing to take a huge dump? But anyway, here's the throne room of Atlantis. They see the people outside. They see Garth and Mira outside trying to break the seal. So he sends his magician out there to stop him. Pretty cool looking bad guy, isn't he? So then we're back to Aquaman and Dolphin. They're hanging out here. Look at that cool backdrop. I would have probably made this right here, all of this. You know, more detailed and put it all right there. That's the only change I would have probably done. But then he's talking about how he's not the hero that she wants. You know, he's just a vigilante. And again, look at the good facial expressions and the good coloring on her face. Look at his expressions. And so she keeps trying to comfort him because she is actually mute. She can't talk, but she's trying her best to make him feel better. It's a really human moment here. You know, we're learning that our hero is human, so to speak. He's half Atlantean, but he has emotions and he has times when he's not confident. And so she's trying to help him. And then it cuts to Mira and Garth here. Look at that drawing. Look at that. That's awesome. I know I keep saying that, but I mean, when you compare this to other comics, it's like, wow. So it says, in the name of King Wrath, you are declared traitors to Atlantis, and your lives are forfeit. So now they're about to be attacked by some magicians. And so it says, next, death by magic. It's like, uh-oh, they're about to have a huge fight. It's going to be like 1-on-4. Mira knows some magic, though. She knows some stuff. That's garbage. But yeah, check this comic out. Like, I've read the last couple of issues. I don't know how long they have this Sejic guy to do things, how many more issues he's going to do. I guess I'll just keep an eye on it. But he is literally the only reason I'm reading this comic. And then once I read this comic, I notice the story is really good. And so it's all good. That's how you get people's attention. You make a cool cover to get their attention with awesome art. Even up close, it's awesome. And I believe he's going to be at the Comic-Con in New York, by the way, if you want to go by and see him. I believe he said he had a tent or had a table there. But check this guy out. It's Stjepan Sejic and Dan Abnett did the story. I feel bad for the writers because they never get the respect they deserve unless they're just like Stan Lee or something, because the art, you know, always, art sells comics. No matter what they say, art sells comics. And then the story comes later. It's like, hey, let's get you in the door, and then we're going to show you the good story. But anyway, check this comic out. It's Aquaman 28. I just had a couple of things I would have changed, but other than that, it's awesome, guys. But this is the kind of quality that they're putting out at DC right now. I'm going to try to find some good Marvel books to do some reviews on, so don't think I'm a DC fanboy. But all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Underground Geek out.